Yeah, hello. So this is Joseph from IBO Education, and I'll be taking you through our platform dedicated at helping students improve in their math studies, um, and how it works in general. Um, so I'll start off with a bit more high architecture, and then we would move down towards a demo. So on a top scale, at least something worth mentioning, we try to keep data about students and then the questions in a well-structured manner. So for that case, whenever every student comes on the platform, and when I mention student in this case, I am referring to someone who is enrolled on the UCSD Maths program. Then we create a separate entry for that student where we keep data about the student, for example, what level of questions they have answered to, and what skills they have acquired, where they are lacking, and all those kind of information. Also, we maintain a bank of questions, um, that are standard. In this case, some of the questions come from popular data sets like Minerva, and then when questions are exhausted, they are generated on the fly with GPT to fill in any spaces left. Also, we load metadata about questions just so we can give students the ability to say, yeah, after answering this question, I've been able to acquire this skill A, skill B, C, and D. Okay. So all this metadata we believe is helpful. Some cases you'd have a student who may have graduated a class, they would say, yeah, I know algebra, but for a specific subsection of algebra they are not doing well, so we are able to track all of those kind of things using these metadata. Now the interface of choice as that we are using for this math program is Discord, and so I have Discord set up so that I'll do a demo over it. And of course, to go through this platform, first you need to connect your Discord account to your account on IBL Education to say, yes, if you receive any message from this Discord account, it comes from me. So to do that and to interact with the entire math tools, which we call mentors that we have, then you'd have to be using Discord commands. We provide an array of granular commands and then a more generalized one. So we have UCSD, and then we have UCSD, just that. We have UCSD all, which is more of a controlling mentor, one that decides by itself which smaller mentor or smaller component is best capable of answering your question. So call it a coordinator. Then we have one that you use to fetch questions, which is UCSD question. We have one that you use to present a solution to an assignment that you've been given, which is UCSD solution. And as discussed in an earlier meeting, we've added UCSD solve, which students will use to answer any question they come across. Okay. So to start with and to connect accounts, I'll do something like UCSD login. And when I do, because my Discord account is not yet connected to any IBL Education account, I'll be presented with this interaction where I'm asked to either log into an existing IBL Education account or register a new one. To make things straightforward, I'll go with the login option, and I'll enter my password. Now afterwards, I get told that I am logged in as IBO Jotep 124, and after having logged in, now when we come to our data manager and we try to search for bot accounts, we would see an account created for this particular user, IBO Jotep 124, and that it is connected to my Discord account. Okay. So IBO Jotep here connected through Discord, and my student data and everything is also linked to it. Now from this I can view details about myself. So as long as I interact with any of these math mentors, I'm going to automatically be enrolled in a math program. So I do something like, hello, how are you doing? Now this /UCSD mentor, which is one of the granular mentors, would be one to interact with a student and make them feel much livelier. Let's just say a reception person, and one that reports back to me, the student, about my performance and all those history I have, what skills I have learned, and all those excess. So I can ask something like, what is my level and my overall performance? Well, it does happen that this is a new account, so my level would be 1 and my performance would be like at the base set. Now when the mentor processes this, it's going to pull information that we have for this particular user, IB or JOTIP, including whatever questions they have solved, how many points they have, number of questions they've solved, number of questions I've failed at, as at the current level I am at. Okay, and then the more I answer questions, the more I get them right, I get to scale up to higher level and get tougher questions. So I'll do something now. I want a question to solve, I want a challenge to take, so I'll ask the mentor the sub-unit specifically designed for providing questions. Of course, I've mentioned earlier that we have UCSD all, which would automatically choose any of these small mentors to answer your question or your query. But for this demo, and at least for now, I'm going to use the granular ones. So I'll do something like, please give me a new math problem to solve. Then this goes into the database, checks my level and say, oh, I'm at level 1. So I need a question that's around about the same level. Then it will go through, check through the questions, then randomly pick one for me, the user, to attempt. When I fail at it, I get a new question. When I succeed, I get praised and I get a new question. I fail, I get encouraged and I get a new question, and I keep trying and trying and trying until I get better. Now every time I also request these questions, in order to make things nice and appealing to a student, we prefer to present questions in latex format. Unfortunately, Discord does not have a natural formatting for latex, so we try to convert the latex into an image on the back end and then upload it on Discord for a user to see. Because large language models are not highly predictable, you can't say for sure that they will follow every rule to the letter. There are occasional cases where a model may present incorrect latex. In that case, we try to fix the latex before generating the image and send it to the student. And where there isn't anything we can do about it, at least we would present the latex code back to the student, and we can try using tools like Overleaf to view the question and process it. So I get this question, what is the smallest solution of the equation x to the power 4 34x squared plus 2 to 5 equals 0? Sadly, this isn't something I would be able to answer off my head, so let me just send in any solution, and for that I'm going to talk with another mentor that is targeted at grading a student and telling me whether I got a solution right or got it wrong. When I get it wrong, then I get feedback, including the correct steps to have solved that question. So I can go through and I'll say the smallest solution of the equation is x equals 4, just a number of my head. And then this would go into this new mentor, which would automatically load the question I was supposed to solve, go through it, grade me the student, a score between 0 and 10. 10 meaning you got it right, 0 meaning you got it wrong, and occasionally, depending on how good the solution is, you may be presented with partial score. But we've tried as much as possible to limit the partial score range to just a low probability case. Yeah. So whilst this is running, let's go check our terminal. We can see a lot of IBL tools being used. Okay, so we get the question content. We try to also assign scores to the students, and then when we finish, we generate back a response to the user. And if you go through this response, a score of 0, and it contains latest code that should tell me how to solve this question. So this is converted into latest code on that on Discord. As a student, I can open it, go through it, and learn from that. Okay, and should I have presented steps, the mentor will try to outline where I went wrong in my steps, if it's a trivial one or one that can quickly be done. Of course, if I deviated entirely, then that's a different case. It would just tell me I deviated entirely, well, with a motivating tone, and then present me with the right solution. Now from there, I get the next question I'm supposed to solve. Root of 2x plus 3 minus 2 equals 0, and then I'll go about it. And now, of course, I get hints about the question that should at least be able to help me solve it. And depending on, as I mentioned earlier, depending on the number of questions I get right at a level consecutively, I get upgraded to higher levels and receive tougher questions. Okay. Now, at any point in time, I can still ask. So this one, I'm going to use the coordinating mentor, not one of the smaller ones, and ask it something like, what is my performance and level, and what is the current question I have to solve. Now this question sort of spans across two smaller units. One that is just /UCSD, which is supposed to tell me my performance and my level, and then a different component which is supposed to get information about the question I'm supposed to solve and present it to me. So this coordinating mentor is going to decide, based on what I ask, which of the mentors to combine to better answer my question or better answer my query. Okay. Now, the final mentor, which was newly added, is UCSD Solve, which is intended to allow me, the student, to present a mentor with a math problem I have come across from anywhere, and then when I present it with that math problem, the mentor tries and solves that question for me, guiding me, giving me the detailed steps just as we see in the examples above, and then I would at least learn from it. In cases where I have already solved that question and I pass in the question and then my solution, then the mentor is going to take a look at my solution and tell me where I did something wrong, whether I was right or not, and if I was wrong, give me the correct solution. Okay. Okay, so let's try that. So this here is the solve. Can you help me solve this math problem? Solve for x. I'm just giving out something straightforward in my head. Solve for x. X in 2x plus 3 equals 5. Just something simple off my head, something straightforward. Now the mentor takes in this question, processes it, gets the solution to the question. Of course, it could be any other question, any tougher problem I may have come across. This is just off my head, and then it presents me with a solution to that particular problem, a step-by-step solution. So it tells me 2x plus 3 minus 3 equals this. You're supposed to subtract 3 from both sides, then you get 2x equals 2, divide both sides by 2, and all that. A step-by-step approach. Now we also found that it's a little difficult for someone, and by someone I mean a student, to present math solutions they have done just by typing, because it's inherently very difficult to type math, at least for most entry-level students and latex. So we present them with the ability to upload an image file and then have some screenshot of whatever they may have written, a picture, and then have the mentor get the answer from it using OpenAI's vision tools. So I use something like here is the solution. Then I can select a file option as attached to the bot command. I'll choose a file on my device, an image for this. So I do have a few handwritten images, so I'll pick one of those handwritten images and I'll submit that to the mentor as grading for the work given here, which is supposed to be a combination work. Of course, this is what I sent is entirely different, deviating, but the point being that we are loading whatever the student wrote on that image and then processing it as though they had typed it as latex. So if we go through our terminal logs, we would see, if we go through our terminal logs, we will see that whatever I had done, okay, is taken and converted into latex code and then submitted to the mentor. Perhaps open a side-by-side comparison. 2x minus 4 equals 2x minus 2, 3 minus 2x. So a quick dive into Discord, and we see the same equation being presented, written in latex format and then given to the mentor. So the mentor processes this and grades me whether I'm right or wrong. If I was wrong, give me the right solution to the question. And this question is what the mentor assigned to me, not the one the student asked the mentor. Okay, so the one the mentor assigned to me is for grading. The one I asked the mentor is just for my own personal learning and inquiry. Okay, so we wait. The mentor finishes processing. We wait on the mentor to finish processing, and then we present it presents the gradings to the student. Of course, in this particular case, it's going to be a 0. So I'll be told I answered wrongly, and then I'll be presented with the correct solution to 17 combination 8, 17 8, and that's it. Now, what's this process on an architectural scale? We use Langflow for what we call the mentors, and on the back end we have our own custom logic to sort of automatically generate questions make sure the questions generated are correct. So we do a two-step verification of the questions that we have and the answers. So we first pass the question to GPT-4 with code interpreter to answer, and then we pass back the original question, the first answer we got, to GPT-4 with code interpreter again, and ask it to take a look at the solution, and then whatever errors may have been in the initial solution, correct them. Okay. Now, this is our architecture for the UCSD tools that were just showcased. We have all these individual mentors, which we would say an army of mentors, that are coming together and are being regulated by a math coordinator, this agent, so that depending on what question is passed in, this agent, this math coordinator, will go through the tools, go through my problem, break it into subtasks, and assign them to any of these mentors to solve. And after they solve, combine their results and present them back to me, the student. Now on a monitoring scale, we have APIs for administrators to connect and sort of view the progress of their students, the progress of students, the questions we are feeding them and all that. And on as a platform administrator, you would also be able to see, as a platform administrator, you'll be able to see more details and a few statistics about a particular student you choose and sort of see their progress. Okay. So for the my account, which I just tested with, all the 3 questions I was given, I did get them wrong because it's inherently hard for me to just solve them off of my head on the fly of the moment. So you see that being logged here with a score of 0. And should I have been at a higher level, when the number of incorrect questions I have at a level increase to like 5, I get dropped down a level. And if the number of levels I have, the correct answers reaches a threshold of 10, then I get increased to a higher level, and then I get to see tougher questions. We chose a range of 10 and 5 to make sure that when we are increasing the student's rank, we are entirely certain that the student is comfortable answering questions at that level, so that we don't just have magic jumps. Someone answers a question just once, got it right, and then they got increased to level 2, answered one question level 3, but there are like 100 over questions in level 1. At least they should solve something substantial before they can their rank can be increased. So that is it about UCSD math. That is it about our math set of tools and how they work. So thank you very much.